Hi there, my name is Rachel Noto. I am one of the assistant directors on the SBS Career and Professional Development team, and I thank you so much for joining me today. So without further ado, let's get started. I am joining you for about 10 minutes today just to walk through and give you a brief introduction of what is SBS Career and Professional Development. Why are we here? What do we do? How can we best serve you? And then I'll show you some upcoming events that we have on our calendar. And if you have any questions, I will leave my contact information at the end of the presentation today. All right, so a team check-in here. So these are my wonderful colleagues that I work with. We have Carol, Rebecca, Odessa, and then myself. As I mentioned, I am one of the assistant directors on the career team, and I primarily oversee the SBS in Boston Spring Internship Program. I also work with the career fairs that are sponsored by SBS, and I also meet with students one-on-one, so I'd love to meet with you this semester. So if you aren't familiar with how to actually go about scheduling a handshake appointment, you would simply log into your handshake account using a UMass Net ID and password. From there, you select the Career Center tab. You would click on appointments, and then you would, of course, schedule a new appointment. And what we have a ton of different drop-down options for you. So you can choose to meet with us for anything ranging from resume review, cover letter review, or perhaps you want to just have a general career exploration meeting. We'd be happy to meet with you about that. And then let's say you also land an interview and you want to do a mock interview and prepare. So we'd be happy to meet with you on that too. And we are located in 128 Thompson Hall. So that is the main SBS Pathways Center. You would go in there for an appointment if you're meeting with us in person, and then we would greet you at the door. Okay, so moving forward, career communities and preferences. So something that I wanted to share with all of you today, which will be a main takeaway of our time together, is our new SBS Pathways webpage. So you would go there by typing in sbspathways.umass.edu. Once you do that, you're going to, if you don't have an account, you would hit sign up here. And simply you would select your role as an admitted student and then type in your email address. And once you're able to do that and you click continue, you would just select a password from there. So for myself, I'm going to just log in just to show you what the website looks like. Okay, and we're in. So this is what the main webpage looks like. And there's a few key things that I wanted to walk through with you today. The first being, the most important is we want you to register to have an account here so you can select your preferences. So what I mean by that is if you scroll over to the top right where it says my name here, you would click on preferences. And once that loads, you'll see. So you can scroll down here and select as many preferences as you'd like. So what that means is they're broken down into different categories. So you have different blog preferences, jobs, events. You can select as many career and academic preferences as you prefer. And by selecting one of these checkboxes, so let's say I'm a current student and I'm looking for a full-time internship. So I would click both of those boxes. That would allow the UConnect platform here, which is the main provider of our webpage, that would allow them to know, hey, I'm going to send Rachel an email just with full-time internship information. So any full-time internships that are posted through Handshake that are connected to our website, those would get sent to you in an email. So what you're doing here by selecting all of these preferences, as I continue to scroll down, you're selecting what kind of information you'd like to receive in an email. So that can be weekly, each day. Again, you can set that in your preferences. Perhaps you're interested in preparing for an interview, so you'd like to check that box off, or registering an internship for credit. These are all very common questions that we get in some of our student meetings. This is another great opportunity for you to check off those boxes. And if you scroll down, you can update your preferences, and that's when you'll be selected to get those emails in your UMass inbox. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up here, click on the main homepage. And another key takeaway that I wanted to walk through with each of you today is what are career communities? So as an SBS major, you're developing all of these key transferable skills that are really important to highlight to potential employers. So employers aren't only looking at your major, but they're looking at all of those key experiences that you've had during your time at UMass and also what you've been involved in general. So a career community is a great way for you to kind of browse around and play around with what are your different types of interests, right? So let's say you are a comm major, but you're also interested in consulting. So you can click on the business management and consulting career community. On each of these, you can click the follow this community button to again receive more content and emails to your inbox, just specifically around events that are happening in this career community, perhaps different alumni contacts that you can meet with, and the list continues. So as you scroll down on this page, you're going to see a little bit more about, what kind of jobs that you can get in this career community. And on the right side, you see a list of featured jobs and internships. So these are all coming from Handshake as well. Some relevant courses that you can consider, featured articles, alumni, as I mentioned on the right. And this is just a really great resource for our students that we're so excited to share with you this semester, because there are a ton of resources on here to help you. There's labor market insights. So this is where you can actually select an industry and perhaps go through and see what are the different types of positions that are out there. What does a day-to-day job look like? Where can I get hired? What's the typical salary? All of those common questions will be answered throughout a lot of the resources on this page. So please take a look, dive into a lot of our resources again, and I'm happy to meet with you if you'd like to have a follow-up conversation about this. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring us back. All right. So a few key events that are coming up that I'm really excited to share. So on the left here, we have an SBS in Boston flyer. Again, I mentioned I'm one of the co-coordinators of this internship program. So this is a professional development opportunity for students to have an internship in the Boston area in the spring semester. We are currently accepting applications to our professional development program, and the deadline is October 1st. So we do have some upcoming info sessions. So you'll want to definitely check us out on our social channels under UMass SBS Career Professional Development. We have a LinkedIn, we have a Facebook, Instagram, and we're developing a TikTok account. So make sure to give us a follow and stay in touch with some of the upcoming info sessions for that. This is just one of our previous year students, Mia, who is so amazing, and she was able to participate in this experience completely virtually and still have much success. So we just wanted to showcase her there. And then if you look on the right, we are also advertising our signature SBS in DC summer internship program. So although that does take place in next summer, we're currently recruiting students for that professional development program as well. Students do have until October 17th to apply to this program. There are multiple info sessions, and all of these are located on Handshake. But feel free to dive in a little bit. These are our two signature internship programs that students really enjoy being a part of. They always come out of this program and say, how much more greater sense of self they have, greater confidence. They feel more competent going into the workforce after participating in professional development training and, being an intern and working with alumni. So these are both really great opportunities for you to take a look at moving forward. And then I also wanted to mention some of the upcoming fall 21 virtual career fairs. So if you're not aware, the career fairs are being held this fall virtually through Handshake. So last semester we did use a different platform called Career Fair Plus. This year it's an all-in-one, everything's on Handshake, which makes things a little bit easier for us. So what you'll want to do is take a look at this list here. Again, this is located on Handshake under your Career Center or your Events tab. You could see under career fairs, there's a ton listed here that are upcoming. And you'll want to take a look at this because usually what we do, and I'm helping out with the nonprofit fair coming up on October 13th. So I have set students to register for that fair 1 week in advance. So how you register for these fairs is a little bit different. What you'll want to do is by looking at the employer list of who is attending, once you register for a meeting with an employer, which can start about 1 week in advance, then that confirms your registration for the fair. So you don't actually have to go in and register yourself, just register for a meeting with an employer, and that counts too. But this is a great time to be looking at, which employers are willing to meet with UMass students, which employers are hiring. Specifically for your areas of interest, there's a lot of recruitment happening right now and upcoming deadlines for summer internships and jobs for summer 22. So those deadlines are coming up, I would say about mid-October to early November. Some of those deadlines are approaching. So be sure to take a look at your Handshake account, see what events are coming up, which employers are looking to have information sessions, who's attending the fairs, and just set those deadlines for yourself so you're staying on top of that. All right. So as I mentioned before at the beginning, my name is Rachel Noto. I'm located in 128 Thompson Hall. I'd love to meet with you either in person or virtually, or you're welcome to meet with another one of my wonderful SBS Career and Professional Development colleagues. But at the end here, I have listed my contact information. Please feel free to schedule a handshake appointment, or feel free to send me a message if you have any further questions. And I thank you all so much for your time, and I look forward to meeting with you.